Now you are officially released.
Even though Mandela alikuwa na feel. Thank you so much. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Sanko.
We have kept our word, sir. And we are not keeping it for Eric. We are actually keeping it for the artists, visual and performing artists in the country, who actually have created a very robust creative economy. And it is known to Kenyans that out of 100 shillings that every artist is making, 85% is being lost to piracy. So we have to keep protecting the laws that we have done before, including the Copyright Amendment Bill of 2018, which is protecting us against piracy. We shall guard it jealously. We are also supporting amendments that are bringing more royalties to the artists through an amendment bill, Copyright Amendment 2021. So we will keep our word. Mheshimiwa Jude.
Thank you. Bwana Omondi, we have come to release you from the bondage that you are in. And we are going to support the art industry as much as we can. I am a former artist and I know how it feels. Maybe if it was a good industry, I would be in the same industry today. But I am not in it because it could not sustain me. I would like to be part and parcel of a system that creates an environment where our artists are able to thrive. So we shall support all the measures that are brought to the floor of the House to support our artists. I'm also the chairman of Economic Caucus, Parliamentary Caucus on Economy and Business. And we would like this to be a thriving business so that it can help build our economy and improve the economy of our country. So we shall support you, we shall support this cause because it's a cause that is going to improve the economy of our country and provide employment to our youth. You are doing the right thing. Keep it up.
Okay, Eric Omondi, as I had promised, I say that today, just a few minutes after we have met, that this discussion will be on the floor of the House. And for sure, it has been on the floor of the House. We have introduced it, that we should play 70% of local contents on our audiovisual and all media houses so that we promote the local artists. We know that artists have employed so many youth and that it is a thriving business is only because of maybe piracy and so on. And we are lucky that we have the act in place and that it protects you and will guard it. Although there is an amendment by Gladys Wanga that section 35 of the Copyright Act should be amended, but we have said that we should shoot it down. And we have discussed with Gladys Wanga. She may drop it, but if she does not drop it, we will shoot it down because we must protect you from piracy. As I have said, we have started the conversation. Jude Jomo, who is a former artist, was there and he actually supported us. KJ, who is your greatest supporter and the supporter of the youth and the supporter of the artists, decided to bring it on the floor of the House, and we all supported, and the mood of the House indicate that the whole House is supporting you. So as I had said, that once I've introduced it on the floor of the House, I will come with a key and open you up so that you can go home and eat food. You thought that you will stay here for long, but now you have only stayed for almost 2 hours and everything has been done. So let me officially...
Before the Honorable Sankok opens, I think it is good for the world to know that Eric Omondi is doing this out of his own volition. And the good book reminds us of the story of the great man Moses. When Moses wanted to rescue the people of the Israelites from Egypt, he didn't know what to do. And when he was asked to go out and rescue the people of Israel, he asked, what do I have? What do I have? And he was told, use what it is that you're holding. And he used his staff to liberate the people of Israel. Eric Omondi is using the talent that he has to champion the rights of artists. So we are calling upon the artists to also agitate for their rights, because unless you petition the institutions that make these decisions, these institutions are deaf to your cries until you cry loud enough for them to hear you. So Eric Omondi must be commended for doing that which industry players are fearing to do. So Eric Omondi, we commend your very innovative way of petitioning Bunge, and Bunge has heard your cry today. To the artists out there, please don't stay in a comfort zone. It is not comfortable when we realize that out of your efforts, 85% is being lost to piracy. We are reminded that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. So the artists will have to be eternally vigilant to make sure that their rights are not trampled upon. As Honorable Sankok has said, we shall take this opportunity that has been presented by Eric Omondi to champion for better royalties for our artists, whether it is Skiza Tunes, whether it is View Sasa, or whichever other platform is carrying the artist's content. We are championing for more royalties for the artists. As we speak, the platforms take a bigger share of the revenue. So we are asking all these platforms to respect our artists. Shamba ya artist ni idea zake. So hiyo shamba nayo iheshimiwe. As we are fighting for the coffee bill, as we are fighting for the tea bill, let us also fight for the creative economy. So as we are fighting for royalties, we also don't want to lose the gains we have made so far. So we are asking Gladys Wanga to respect the industry and to drop the amendments to Section 35 so that we can protect our artists against piracy and protect our children from content that would promote terrorism, content that would promote child pornography and other undesirable content. It is now my pleasure and honor to invite Honorable Sankok to fulfill the promise that he had made almost 3 hours ago, yes, that he shall liberate Eric from this bondage that he has been put into by legislation that hasn't been done yet.
And let us remember as he does that these platform providers, whenever they are screening and airing external or imported content, they are importing that content at the detriment, at the disadvantage of our local artists. Let us also have our stations to be patriotic and air local content, even beyond the required remit, because that is the only way we can support our local art industry.
Thank you. So now, on behalf of Parliament, on behalf of the ridiculous team, you know, KJ was known for ridiculous, and on behalf of all of us, I now officially take the key that I took here to come and officially release you from bondage and release all the artists so that they can earn from their sweat. Now officially, there will be 75% of local content being played in our media houses.
I want to say thank you to Mheshimiwa KJ, Mheshimiwa Jomo. Asante sana, amesimamia economy, na Mheshimiwa KJ, I don't need to say anything about him. He's one of the guys. When I was in Form 1, I started watching Red Corner, the initial Red Corner. There were 2 Red Corners before, and there were 2 ridiculouses before there was Red Corner. Yes. And I started watching KJ wakiwa bado KU, and I said one day I'll come to Nairobi na nitajipata kwa TV. So when Martin Luther alisema, my dreams were valid, and I came to see my dreams. Walisaidia, huyu ndio grandfather. Nyinyi mnajua babangu anaitwa Churchill. Na unajua baba Churchill ni nani? Huyu ndio baba ya Churchill, yeah? So I want to say thank you for releasing me as a good grandfather. Thank you Bwana Sankok. Na mimi nilisema, as an artist, I am the most followed artist, and we know the power of social media. Actually, to some extent, it's beginning to take over from traditional media. I am going to repeat it here, that actions always speak louder than words. We are in an election year. Mnaona ni MPs wangapi wamekuja hapa nje? There are less than 7. Na sisemi kwa ubaya, wengine pengine wako leo kwa session. But I just want to say, we always have to give back to the society. They've given us, we have to return our hand. It shows its goodwill. It shows the heart of a man. It shows the mind of a man. Ndio mheshimiwa atoke kwa gari yake, akuje hapa, aniletee maji, Mheshimiwa KJ has brought me so many concerned or relevant MPs. Ameniletea moja, anasema huyu ndiye anakaa kwa committee ina deal na communication something which is our thing. Ametuletea mheshimiwa hapa mwenye na deal, na of course Sankok ametoa kwa jela. Asante sana. Nataka kusema ni asante na nataka tu kidogo tu wapi hiyo ngoma? To dance to Kenyan music kidogo tu. Kidogo tu.
And we need to pause with this,
yes.
so that
Yes.
we can show the world what we are clamoring for.
Yes. Haya, babu kuja bwana, ndio huyu.
Chairman,
Mambo. Nimekuja kuuliza.
niko sawa.
Sikilia kidogo.
Mambo.
It's an honor. As you can see, the issues of the youth and the issues of the artists are bipartisan. On the floor of the House, we do not care whether you are Azimio, whether you are bottom up. If it is an issue that has to do with the youth of this country or the creative economy, it is bipartisan. As you can see, the Honorable Jude Jomo of the Jomo Bill, he's coming fresh from passing another very progressive bill in the House today, the NITA bill, which also supports talent development, and is also the chairman of the Creative Economic Caucus, is here. Honorable Sankok, Honorable Babu Owino, and myself, all from different political persuasions, all here to support the cause of pushing for the growth of the creative economy. And we will not tire from thanking Eric Omondi for taking a cause and seeing it through. This is very well dramatized.
Thank you.
And that is the talent you have.
Thank you.
So by dramatizing this, you have started a very important conversation
Asante.
on play 75% local content.
Asante.
Mheshimiwa Babu,
Mheshimiwa Babu.
yes.
Chairman, umeongea?
Nimeongea lakini kuja ongea.
Oh.
Kuja ongea. Sisi
Okay,
wote tumeshaongea. Unajua hii kijana lazima niheshimu. Hawezi ongea kabla sijaongea. I was his senior in Sonu leadership. So because I'm his senior, he must ask the chairman if I have spoken, and if I have spoken, which I have done. Now welcome.
Iko sawa, Chairman. Kazi iko sawa. So what do you want to know today? About the 75%. Maybe
Yes.
you can ask it in form of a question, then we talk about it. I'm generally, I can give a blanket statement about it.
Actually, what happened today is I was driving into Parliament, and as I was getting into Parliament, I saw a contraption outside Parliament. So I was very curious to find out what was happening. So I parked my car, came out only to find out that it was Eric Omondi who was inside this contraption, clamoring for 75% airplay of Kenyan content, and that's what brings us here. So he commissioned us as we were going into Parliament that we need to start the conversation on the floor of the House, and he said he will be in this contraption until that conversation begins. So we took it upon myself, the Honorable Jude Jomo, the Honorable Sankok, myself, to bring up the issue on the floor of the House, which we have done. And we promised Eric that if we do that, we shall come and rescue him from the contraption.
I had the keys, so I told him, you can stay here until we have started the conversation. So we went in there, in the house, we started the conversation. I came with the key, and I've just unlocked him and released him from bondage, so that we release all the artists, yes, all the artists, so that 75% of local contents can be played in our media stations.
Definitely. I think first I would like to thank Eric Omondi for this great initiative, because Eric is not an artist, but actually is fighting for the artist. And when I do see the same artists trying to criticize Eric in one way or the other, it's so sad. Because to Eric, the juice may not be worth the squeeze, but it's taking it upon himself to ensure that he's fighting for let's call probably the artist the less fortunate in this scenario. Because when you look at our system, even the mentality of Kenyans, we've fixed in our mind that we can only listen to music which is not local, international music. We import music, we import clothes, we import even toothpick. And when you see some of our engineers, we even import them. We import from China. Yeah. Our engineers can only afford to sweep the roads and maintain them. So it is quite an absurdity. So to me, Eric, you're doing a great job by supporting the local artists. I did receive the petition. We were with Honorable Jagwa, and you just came just a few minutes later. I saw you getting in when you had already received it. But I can tell you for sure that Eric has been very consistent with this issue, and we are also taking it up. You've had Chairman Sankok has talked about it. Mheshimiwa Njomo has talked about it. Title has talked about it. Mheshimiwa Kiari has talked about it. Personally, I'm also joining hands in this. because we did take the petition. It followed the due process, and as you can see, at least it was on the floor of the House. And this thing will only be appreciated the moment it will be passed. That's when the local artist will feel that Eric did something. I remember the story of Jesus Christ. When he healed some of the lepers, 11 of them, only one went back and said thank you.
Yes.
So just do it. Just do it. You don't need to wait to be told, to be appreciated. Just do it, because you are doing it somebody for that person who is downtrodden at the slums, in the village, the person who has talent. For those who have probably mocked in the music industry, they might not see it as something worth fighting for. But for me, I will join hands with my fellow members of parliament. When it comes to this, it is a common interest. And this is the interest of the people. So we in parliament, we shall trickle it down to the person on the ground and ensure that the artist...
Bottom up.
From the bottom.
To up.
Yeah, so as you can see, we are all interested parties to this, and we will ensure that at least it reaches that person in the ground.
Yes.
From parliament. And Eric, congratulations. We are going to do this. Let people say, people are saying, you know, Eric is chasing clout. What? Chase it. So what?
If this is cloud,
So what? Even if you are chasing it. This is your life, and you are the CEO of your life. Everybody to rule their own lives.
Weka mziki.
So you do it. At least weke mziki sasa tukule ngoma, but we are in support.
So, yes.
And we are also urging artists to at least support this initiative. This is going to help you. This is going to promote, and even promotion of culture. You know, with this, it's also eroding our cultural.
Cultures,
yes. There are so many music that's promoting our culture. But when we are importing so much into our system, then even we are running away from our culture. You find now a 5-year-old is singing music from the States.
Sadly.
And doesn't even know the local language.
Very
So
sad.
to me, I think we need to do something. And as we've said, we are already doing something. So Eric, you proceed with that spirit. Artist, mchanuke. But we said, as we said last time, we are also saying it, artists must produce serious music. We will not also just want to sit and just work and you don't do anything. And we said when you produce music, this music must be able to massage our ego, must be able to turn our minds on, must be able to make us get entertained even when you are tibimizing and tealizing your partner. You know, as I said, you must go with the beats.
Yes.
You know, the music must be enticing. Ndio? Sawa sawa.
So
One thing that we have to mention, because we have the Honorable Jude Jomo here, who is the chairman of the Economic Caucus, and he understands how he's able to wrestle the right regulations out of this house. One of the biggest impediments to artists is that they are not bankable and they cannot afford credit. They cannot be accorded credit. So we are asking upon the financial institutions in this country to look at ideas as non-physical collateral so that any artist can walk into any bank with an idea and get financing for whatever idea that they have. So even as we are pushing for Kenya government to institute laws, statutes, regulations that push for 75% of local content, we are calling upon corporate Kenya to also join the fight, and mostly financial institutions, to ensure that Eric Omondi can walk into a bank with an idea and use it as collateral to fund whatever idea he has. Today, our artists don't have cars, they don't have shambas, they don't have houses. So when you ask for a logbook or a title deed from an artist so that they can access credit, you're actually killing the industry. So we in the legislature will push for the laws. The government, through the ministry, we are calling upon CS Musharo to put in place the policies that are required. But corporate Kenya will also need to step up to the plate, and the Kenyans, the public, will also need to buy the content to keep the artists alive. I think so that it is bankable. I think we can make a formation so that we see.
This is very symbolic.
Yes.
Kuonyesha that honorable members
Yes.
are dancing to Kenyan music.
Okay.
So leading by example.
Okay.
Wapi
Including
ngoma?
Honorable Sankok.
Yes, mpaka Sankok.
Mhesh,
Utadungwa.
njoo hapa, Mhesh, njoo hapa. Kindly give come to this side. Come to this side.